Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. We are continuing with the autumn and my favourite, chucking it all in. I love nothing more than a chuck it all in video. This is the kind of product, the kind of result that just makes my heart sing because you just never know what you're gonna get. We're gonna be using a combination. We're using bunny tails, dried flowers, dried leaves, a whole array of foils. We're using different coloured micas to give us all of those autumn feels. And these micas are stunning. These are the Resin Pro micas. I've had these in my collection since I started doing resin and they're still incredible. I was going to use this gorgeous pale brown. This is a glass cast resin pigment, but I didn't end up using it. However, glass cast resin themselves do have an array of pigments which are gorgeous. I'm also going to be using some of these Cosmic Shimmer gilding flakes because they scream autumn. And all of it, just find all of it, anything that screams of autumn, get it in there, shove it in there, because the results are always spectacular. Now, the mould itself is the beautiful bowl mould. I got this from Shein. I think it was about £6. It might have been £5, £6 or £7. Super cheap. So I bought 2 or 3 because you cannot beat that price. They all arrived from Shein and super happy with them. They make a beautiful bowl. Now this is going to take a lot of resin and I'll be honest, I'm completely out of my huge measuring cups, but because I'm packing up my craft room right now, forgive me Let's Resin, I found this at the back of my Let's Resin shelf and this is a huge mixing cup. It's a silicone cup, so it's super easy to clean. It holds 600 grams max, so I'm going to be able to mix up 300 grams part A, 300 grams part B, and just hope that that was enough. Now, you saw me get the weigh-in scales out there. I realised very quickly this is measurable by volume, not weight. So I quickly took it off the scales. I looked at the side of the cup that has the measurements and it was just below 300. So I topped it up to 300 and I continued on that way, measuring by volume. Now, breathe, Claire. So excited. Now, all I'm doing here is dipping, individually dipping all of the flowers and the dried flowers and leaves that I want to use in this bowl, dipping them into the cup of resin before slowly layering them down in the bowl edge. Now, if this is ringing bells, if you're thinking, Claire, you've done this before, guys, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. Last autumn, if you remember the giant pot that I used in the last video, the giant plant pot, I used that last autumn and I did a very similar technique, but the whole thing came out matte and it was absolutely stunning. Like, I still use the bowl. It's packed away now because we are packing up. But yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorite pieces. Just the combination of everything together, literally just pouring it all in there, seeing what you get, and that is the beauty of a project like this. So the resin I'm using is a standard 24-hour cure resin. You do not need a deep pour for a mould like this. Even though the mould is big, you might think you need it, but you don't. The walls are so thin, you can get away with your standard 24-hour cure resin that you use for your coasters or your bookmarks and things like that. The downside to this is that the walls of the mould are thin. They are quite thin. And I am using quite chunky, hunky, beautiful pieces here. Like, these bunny tails are juicy. Like, they're juicy and fat. So sometimes you might find that your bowl ends up with lumps and bumps on there, and that's okay. So I have spent some time getting those dried flowers dipped and down into the walls of the bowl. Now, similarly to last year's video, we are going to lose some of them. We're not going to be able to physically see all of those flowers and leaves, not unless we walk away now, let it all cure, and come back and pour resin later. I don't want to do that. I want these to blend. I want it to be an organic meeting of both parts of the clear and of the micas, because that is when I just prefer those results. I'm not keen on straight line resin meets resin. It's not my thing. So I have poured some clear into the bowl itself. Then it's time to just throw in all of the colours. So this is the Resin Pro Copper. I'm sorry, it's so gorgeous. Then we're going in with some gold foil. We've got the Resin Pro in like a beigey browny neutral. I felt like this copper didn't really go with the copper flakes. They were two different coppers. So I decided not to use the copper flakes, and I'm definitely going to use the Cosmic Shimmer. The Cosmic Shimmer is stunning. This was given to me last year at Makers Central by one of you lovelies, and it is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Need to get some more. And this combination of gold foil, copper mica, the Cosmic Shimmer dust, the flakes, as well as that pale brown mica, I'm telling you, they are about as autumn as they come. Also, I was thinking, but again, this could be another day. I was thinking of putting in some, if you saw the pot video I made some polyurethane pieces that didn't quite, I couldn't bend them. They'd already gone hard. I couldn't bend them. So I was tempted to put them in here, but I didn't. I didn't, but it's an option for the future. Now I just poured some clear down in, just to give me a bit more clear. And then it's time to just chuck it all in. There's absolutely no rules here. There's no rhyme or reason. I didn't have a set plan. I didn't think, right, we're going to pour this first, then this, then this. No, it was literally just a go for it, chuck it all in, see what it looks like. The only thing I was conscious of here was not putting all of one colour next to each other. So I would mix it up, but equally I didn't care where it went. Like I was just throwing the copper in there and here and making sure that was separate and next to some of the foil, and adding a bit more foil and adding a bit more of the light browny beigey pinky colour. Just do whatever makes your heart sing. And like I said, these projects are genuinely up there as my favourite things to do, because there's just no rules. You can give yourself maximum freedom to just chuck it all in. Just explore, like make up your colours. I personally would make up colours that work together. But if you're random and you don't even care about that, then it's even more fun. But I did go for autumn colours. I did want the colours to work together, and I knew they would all work with those natural dried pressed flowers and pressed leaves. But yeah, once you've done that, it literally could do what you want. You don't even have to put dried flowers and leaves in. You could just make this bowl with pure resin, multiple different colours of your micas, your foils, lots of clear areas that are transparent that you can see through. Give it some more visual interest. Like, the world is your oyster when it comes to colour schemes. This doesn't have to be autumn. Imagine this for Halloween. Guys, purple mica. Okay, imagine purple mica, a dark stunning maroon mica, silver foil flakes, even a hint, just a hint, you don't want it all to sink, a teeny tiny hint of silver glitter. Put it all in there, pour it all in the bowl in a mishmash way. Don't pour everything at once, just take your time. That would be a stunning bowl, an absolutely stunning bowl. And if you wanted to, you could get your dried flowers and leaves in there, but paint them black first. Stop it! Paint them black first, black acrylic paint. Paint your flowers and your leaves black. Put them in clear. Then add your purples and your silvers and your... Stop it, I'm not ready. I cannot wait. I'm absolutely going to try that this year. Let me know if you try it too and what results you get. Now, surprise, surprise, I had some leftover resin, which is most unlike me. So I did pour some into those moulds that you saw me use in the last video. Guys, look at this. Look at this. If this is not screaming caramel, chocolate, caramel and cookie dessert. I don't know what is. Obviously this is epoxy resin. Do not eat epoxy resin. Disclaimer, thank you very much, be safe. But oh my god, just look at it. And I was happy because I looked down the side and I could still see my leaves and my flowers in some of that clear resin where the mica resin hadn't yet, it hadn't gone in. It hadn't fully drowned out the clear, because I definitely still wanted some of that clear to be visible. Now the demold. This is where I get so excited. I am a literal child. Like mentally, I am like a child when it comes to demolding things like this, because you just don't know what you are going to get. Your expectations, everything you dream it might be, the way the micas have blended, the texture, the patterns, the swirls, and not disappointed at all. This screams autumn. Did we get air bubbles? Of course we got air bubbles. I did dip all of the flowers first, but the reality is that there are some bubbles that are going to get trapped under those petals and those leaves, and that's okay. But look at this. This Resin Pro mica powder is up there as some of my most favourite stunning mica powders for the way it blooms and the way it creates these absolutely stunning cloud-like effects. But is this not the most autumn bowl ever? Now again, you saw me do this technique last year in the giant pot mould, but that pot was matte. So we didn't get the full effect. We didn't get the shimmer, the shine. Look at this, the way they're meeting each other, the way they're just blending out and into each other. And that copper mica from Resin Pro, not sponsored by the way, I bought all of my own Resin Pro pigments. Stunning. The bunny tail, I love the fact that the bunny tails were so fat and chunky. That's a benefit to being fat and chunky. You can stop anything getting past. So the bunny tails have in effect stopped any of that mica interfering and getting through and passing through into the clear, blocking any visual of the flowers and the plants. But you can still see some of the leaves, some of the plants, some of the flowers. I absolutely love it. It is giving on fire vibes. It's definitely giving autumn. It's even giving like crisp, frosty morning vibes, but also fire at the same time. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what your favorite technique is, because I could do this kind of resin for the rest of my life and nothing else. Like nothing else. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Now, I did have that leftover resin, so I poured it into this maple leaf mould and did not disappoint. They have come out beautifully. So again, what you could do now is with your leftovers, make your leaves, get your gold embellishment wax, highlight all of the raised areas, bring these leaves to life, then make another bowl, put them down inside the walls of the bowl alongside the foils and the coppers and the real flowers. It's limitless, it's endless, possibilities are endless. Everything about this kind of project is me. It is 100% me. Grab all of the things, do all of the things, shove all of the things into the thing. And I'm telling you now, the results are spectacular. But yeah, I used the pumpkin mold as well. You would have seen the pumpkin mold in the last video. I wasn't very clear in the last video. These molds are available from Denise at I Love Mixed Media. I did leave her link in the comment section of the video, but I think a lot of people missed it, so they were asking me for the link. So I will leave the link to Denise's I Love Mixed Media under this video as well in the description box. So if you do want these molds, head on over there and you can grab them from her. If you are in America, guys, these are Prima Redesign, and Prima Redesign is all in America. So you should be able to find these molds in literally every craft store, I imagine. So much easier to get hold of Prima Redesign molds in America There are some here in the UK on Amazon as well, but I cannot find this one. I cannot find the pumpkin one, and I couldn't find the other one that I used as well in the last video. But yay, I hope you feel inspired by this, and I hope you love Chuck It In as much as I do. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.